Okay, well, go ahead and get started. We're doing our new YouTube live stream. So I sent an email out probably a few weeks ago. We had that big transition from Ustream.tv to YouTube. So I think in the long run, it's going to be a lot better for us. We had almost 200 video catalog, which they were going to get rid of unless we paid their hostage price of 10 times what we were paying for video storage. So I migrated everything to YouTube one video at a time and edited out the out-of-date stuff. I think I ended up putting over 130, 140. And so got them all indexed by title, speaker, and date, so they're easier to search and find. And so now we're also webcasting through YouTube. So I think it'll be easier for people to find, because I was getting a lot of calls on people that were having trouble accessing our videos to that old site. And it was an upstart company. IBM bought them about a year ago, and they were moving it over to just corporate. And they kept changing the website up, and every time I'd link in, it didn't go to the right place, and so people weren't getting advantage of videos. So now I think it's really easy to find. It's Rocky Mountain Inventors, RKYMTN, and then Inventors spelled out. You just search for that on YouTube, and you come to our site, you'll recognize the purple and black and white logo. And everything's there, including tonight should be there too. It's recording and live right now. Anyway, I guess we don't really have new people here, so I don't have to talk about keeping your product confidential and everything. We've got our next meeting, 4th Monday in September. I've got Tony Dubai coming, and he invented an electronic device. He calls it Gesture. So it's wireless, and you hook it to your wrist or fingers, and you can do various motions, and it'll send those motions as commands to your phone. Do things like to advance channel tracks, change volume on music, answer, pick up phone calls. So you can do things while you're doing sports with it. And we just got our patent approved on that. So that was a good deal. We had in fact, he's just showed up. Great. Anyway, you're supposed to be here in 2 weeks, but great. I was just talking about you. Yeah. He's just recovering from a knee replacement, so he's raring to put it to work. And then after that, the early October, we got James Horn on manufacturing engineering, and then the patent office, I think, I'm trying to get confirmations coming in late October. And then we got a securities attorney in November, John Eckstein, who's been coming to this group since the 80s. He's going to talk about Blue Sky and Jobs Act, which is issuing stock online legally for funding for your company. Okay. And there's a lot of new options there for small businesses that aren't as expensive as a regular IPO or stock issue. So good things. Anyway, so tonight I will introduce our speaker, Anthony, on YouTube. And just remember, YouTube is absolutely essential these days. Everybody needs a channel for their product and videos to show it off. And there's a lot of other things surrounding it that Anthony can clue you in on. So here's Anthony.
Thank you for the introduction, Roger. This is my 4th time here at the Rocky Mountain Inventors Club. I started my speaking business about 5 years ago, maybe just 4. And this is one of the first places that I ever called to see if I could speak about YouTube. And the goal, or what I had been doing myself, was to teach other people how to publish videos to YouTube so that they showed up on the first page of Google. And I thought, well, if people could find what they're looking for, and I could give them a good experience with a video, then I would get a good chance to introduce myself, what I do, and potentially make a bond or a relationship with them without actually having to meet them. You see, before I started teaching people video, I was in remodeling and construction. I was working for home investors that would fix and flip a house, and they would hire me to do the remodeling. I would even do that for people that had rental units or people that just even wanted me to do it to their own house. And I would record myself doing that remodel of the bathroom, the kitchen, or the basement. Then I would publish that video to YouTube. People would search for kitchen remodeling contractor and they would find me. And I basically eliminated my need to prospect through cold calling or anything else. And it was this light bulb that went on off of my head, and the economy shifted in '08. So I couldn't make money as a contractor no matter what. But I knew that I'd learned something that I could teach other businesses how to use for themselves, because the philosophy or the strategy was exactly the same. And so the last 4 times that I've come, I've created a video, uploaded it to YouTube, and then it's gotten onto the first page of Google. Today, I thought I would show you 2 examples of inventions that I've worked on myself and how I've used video to promote those businesses, those inventions, and make them more successful. There's a story behind each one, and I was only able to really follow my instinct and create these inventions with the knowledge I learned here at the Rocky Mountain Inventors Club and some of the other crowdsourcing clubs that I've attended. So if that's a suitable topic for the audience, then I'd like to, I guess, start with the more traditional one, which is a beverage. It's a beverage that contains a clinical dose of hemp oil or cannabidiol or CBD. And there's been a lot of research coming out that says a regular dose of this natural, non-psychoactive hemp oil extract can be very beneficial for your health. At the time, I had also read a book from Tim Ferriss called Tools of the Titans, where he was the human experiment, and he tested out intermittent fasting on himself and learned how he could increase his testosterone and increase his energy levels and lower his body fat. And the blood burns energy 2 ways, through glucose and through ketones that are burned from fat. Well, so by fasting, he would run out of glucose in his blood, and his blood would change to fat burning. And he used this combination of ghee and coconut oil to smooth over the transition from glucose to fat burning. So I thought, being in Colorado a year and a half ago when I came up with this idea, I'll just put the 2 together. I did a little rudimentary bottle of this, and I got an investor to give me $22,000. I went to a local networking group for cannabis businesses, and there was an investor there who liked the idea and gave me a check for $22,000. Well, I went to an incubator, a startup business incubator through the Denver Chamber of Commerce. It was called Trout Tank. And they do this incubator like 4 times a year. And I did the one for food products. What they told me was that this logo that I came up with originally was too amateur. It was too much cartoony-like. And I had to increase the logo's brand value. So I worked with a brand designer, and she came up with this brand instead. And since George Washington is dead, I can use his likeness as my own brand without having to pay any royalties. And I don't know if you knew this, but George Washington was one of the first advocates of the hemp seed. He said, make the most of the hemp seed, sow it everywhere. And so that bottle was too expensive. It was like $40 for me to sell that bottle at Keystone pricing. I don't know if you know what Keystone pricing is, but you take all of the ingredients and the materials, the hard costs to create that product, and you times it by 3. That's the best way to sell that, because you're going to have another third for expenses and marketing. Hopefully, if you're lucky, you get a third profit. So that's a good starting point for any product, is to just take the raw materials and multiply by 3, which I did, and $50 was too expensive in the bottle. So they said, put it in a single serving packet. And so I did. And even though I came up with this, and somehow designed this label and this barcode to get it in this single package, I got to get more packaging to put the packets in. So that goes in this little box display that clamshells off and sits next to the register. Because these two topics are trending right now for millennials, or 20 or 30-something-year-old individuals. They like to try new fad diets, and they want to see if the daily dose of cannabidiol could help them focus better or have a better athletic performance. I used the Wernicke box to create this, and they're out by the airport. They gave me the dimensions, and my designer filled in all the panels, and the price for this was about $3,000 for 2,500 of them. And it'll be a little bit less the next time I order them, because I will have already paid, for the samples and everything. But that's a cost. One of the problems with bulletproof or buttered style coffee is that eventually the oil separates from the coffee or the tea. And so you've got the second half of the beverage that's less desirable than the first half. My uncle, who was the first one to introduce me to buttered coffee, suggested that I get a mug. So this mug is a self-mixing mug. It mixes the drink. It actually makes this sound. And you mix it like that. And so each sip is perfectly mixed. And it's kind of like that thing at the recess that one kid has, and then everyone's like, what is that? I have to have it too. It's also included in the patent. What's included in the patent is the combination of the hemp and the buttered style coffee and the use of this self-mixing mug.
It can also be used in hot chocolate.
Good.
Because guess what happens in hot chocolate? It all drops out to the bottom. And then you get this awful looking dark brown stuff at the bottom of the hot chocolate.
Yeah.
It's almost inedible.
Yes. Yes.
Quick question.
Yeah.
$5 and what happened?
I think it was detailed. Yeah, yeah. Roger had approved a patent on CBD vodka, which apparently there's no hangovers when you have this kind of vodka.
We didn't claim that. That's what they tried. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you get away from FDA and you kind of use certain things, That's kind of interesting. The federal government claims marijuana but there's a lot of marijuana out there. But we don't have marijuana out there. It's like a machine that extracts it. But it's really hard to get on mail.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's just so you know that. Yeah, because patents officers generally know. You get a patent on a product. You have to work for regulation.
So if you're watching on the video, we just had a short discussion on the patent that is associated with this product. I'm detailing some of the business steps that I had to go through in order to get it to this stage. And in a minute, I'm going to show you the press release that's going to go out next week on the product. I worked with a co-packer, Red Law Soft and Golden, that helped me get this cleared by the FDA. It's ghee, which is clarified butter, or butter that the dairy solids have been refined out of. So it's not of fear of becoming rotten at room temperature. It's also coconut oil. It's powdered goat's milk to change the color of the beverage, actually, that lightens the beverage. And sunflower lecithin, which it keeps it mixed. I don't know what that scientific word for that is. Emulsify. That's it. It's an emulsifier. Yeah. So then I use Sticker Mule to help me with my labels. And, it was about $100 for a roll of 200 of these labels. And these go on the self-mixing mug, which I purchased for $6 in China. So you can buy this kit for $27. It comes with 5 single-serving packets, a little pamphlet on intermittent fasting, and the self-mixing mug. So you can test out for 5 days if a regular dose of hemp and intermittent fasting shifts or changes your mind-body performance for the better. I give a guarantee. If you don't feel any better after 5 days, I will refund all your money. However, I say you must record yourself with video after taking each packet to explain if you have or have not felt any different. and it's free to record yourself on video, so it's not a big request. If you really are concerned about getting your $27 back, I will happily do that. Also happily take your videos and probably buy them from you for $27 if you had a great result recorded. Because I can use that over and over and over again with video in my website. No returns yet. I'm about to launch next week. Yeah. 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 That's very important. So if you're the type of person that needs more of a dose, this is 2,000 milligrams, and you can give yourself a higher clinical dosage of the hemp with this dropper twice a day, 25 milligrams twice a day. So that's 80 doses, 40-day supply of a high-level dosage of this hemp or CBD oil. We can't call it CBD oil because it's a class 1 drug. CBD. However, hemp oil is the same exact thing as CBD oil. And we can sell hemp no matter what. So you cannot have a credit card transaction on something that has CBD. Right. Yes. The Sprouts is, Whole Foods is. It doesn't say CBD anywhere on the package. It says CB1 or CB2. I've seen it say. Hemp is federally protected by the 2014 Farm Bill that was signed into Congress by Barack Obama. And that had a lot to do with the legislation that Dr. Bronner did with the soaps that had hemp oil in them that he was selling. So there's kind of a new category of businesses. And when I was, living here and kind of got to see the front end of this developing, and I went out to the internet to search for hempcoffeecreamer.com, cbdcoffeecreamer.com, no one had claimed it. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do something. This is going to take, this is going to spread like wildfire. And that was my indication to start the business. And investor also saw it. By the way, to pivot from the bottle to this right here was a massive shift. The bottle was a 3-month business. This took me a whole year to get this packaging, this single serving packet, this box. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Local, all local. So Four Mother Foods was the group that helped me with the single serving packet, and they're in Boulder. A farm in Longmont or Fort Collins gets me the hemp extract, and everything else I purchase through Amazon. So there's going to be a real opportunity to lower costs once the scaling happens. So because to do the oil instead of the packet, you mean? Right, to do the bottle of creamer, which was something I got from Uline. That company Uline has a lot of those bottling boxes and packages. To go from that to this. And that was easy to package and to fill and to label. This is a package and a label. So it's film that had to be printed, folded, melted together, and cut the exact same place each time. Wild. So here is the press release that I'll read to you that I've been working on today. Hold for release until 6 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, September 19th. New hemp-based product on the market invites coffee and tea drinkers to fast until noon for 5 days straight. Inglewood, Colorado, September 19th. Hemp Coffee Creamer today announces product launch. Patented pending hemp coffee beverage with self-mixing mug now available for immediate purchase. Consuming hemp, cannabidiol, on a daily basis along with intermittent fasting are becoming more and more commonplace among millennials and many others who are interested in better health and more energy. The problem with bullet-style or buttered coffee drinks in the past is that the oil or butter eventually separates from the coffee and floats to the top, making the second half of the beverage less desirable from the first. That's why this product comes with a self-mixing mug. Simply squeeze your hemp coffee creamer, pour in your favorite coffee or tea, and press the yellow button on the handle for a perfectly mixed sip every time. Now, with the ban on hemp oil being lifted across all 50 states as a part of the 2014 Farm Bill that was signed into Congress by President Barack Obama, all Americans can consume hemp oil legally and see if it works for them. Do I need to capitalize this? Much of the federal legislation that protects hemp oil was created with the efforts from Dr. Bronner's hemp oil-based soaps. Over 2,000 peer-reviewed journals have been written about the many benefits that hemp can provide to the ailing human body. In a recent article written by healthworldcbd.com in January of 2018, CBD oil products affect everyone differently. Hemp Coffee Creamer is a great solution for people who are interested in testing the effects of hemp oil on their own bodies and for anyone interested in the added benefits of intermittent fasting. I go in to talk about how our blood processes energy, and I say that ancestors used ketones as their primary energy source, and when they didn't catch their food from hunting the day before, their ketones increased, giving them increased mental and physical performance so that they could survive. Intermittent fasting is the method of eating nothing for 12 to 16 hours per day. The most common form of intermittent fasting starts at 8 p.m. and only allows the person fasting to drink coffee or water until noon the next day. During that intermittent fast, the body's blood switches into burning the fat stored in your body. Hemp coffee creamer is filled with MCT oil from the ghee and coconut oil. These MCT oils, or medium-chain triglycerides, are broken down into ketones much faster than the long-chain triglycerides that are stored in your body, making the transition from glucose burning to fat burning much easier. Hemp Coffee Creamer invites readers to take the 5-day challenge. For $27, the product includes 5 single-serving packets of hemp coffee creamer, a guide to intermittent fasting, and a self-mixing mug, patent pending. Hemp Creamer guarantees that if the user does not feel any better within their mind and body performance, at the end of the 5-day period, they will receive a complete refund.
The cup is a purchase item from that part of that application.
It is part of the patent. I'll pass this around so you can look at it. Yeah, not the cup, no. It was on Alibaba Express. Yeah, I did. I actually sent it to a few friends to help edit, but yeah.
I'm trying to write something oh, you're missing the point. So the switch is on top of the handle.
Yeah.
So when you're ready to take a step, push the steps.
Yeah. Yes.
It needs a battery which has systems at the bottom.
Say what? I go to Harbor Freight Tools and I buy their discount batteries. Oh, it's a AA. So that is a group up in Fort Collins. Brett Eaton is his name. I can get you his number if you want it. So how has video given me the courage to take my own money and the investor's money and have the confidence that I can create a profit out of this? Okay. I didn't, but I'll have to. Okay, so I have a belief that video and the internet together are the most powerful business tool on earth. YouTube's just my chosen venue to publish and advertise videos. And I know that my background in sales teaches me that a sale is made through a relationship. All relationships are built on trust. And if I were to compare print marketing, which is a photo, text marketing, which is a press release, or audio messaging, which is podcast or radio, none of them do as good a job as video at conveying my ability to work with you, my ability to bond with you emotionally and logically about the subject at hand. And so that's exactly what I did. I created a video that is I'm being vulnerable a little bit here, and I'm saying, take it or leave it. It may be for you, it may not, but if you believe in these things, then there should be enough evidence here to convince you that it's worth a try. So I'm going to play this video, and maybe I can point them. George Washington said, make the most of the hemp seed. Sow it everywhere. And today, with over 1,200 peer-reviewed journals on CBD or hemp oil extract, any benefits of this plant that grows out of the ground naturally. Scientists and doctors are expressing that this is the most exciting ingredient now being researched in the modern era. Behind George Washington is Anthony Prichard. I'm a certified global partner, and I'm a competitive boys soccer coach. I've got a background in sales, business development, and video production, and I recognized the need early on for this product and realized that I already had all the tools that I needed to give you access to this product, which you previously have been unable to purchase due to propaganda, lobbying, and prohibition, which is now legal in all 50 states. I believe you should try it for your own good. And no, I'm sorry, it's not cheap. I've done everything I can to keep the quality high and the price low, but there isn't or there shouldn't be a price on your own well-being. So as your brand representative, all I'm going to do is continue to create documented video evidence of CBD oil and butter or bullet-style coffee. I hope to see you on the other side of a happy, healthy, food-free morning. Thank you.
Also, my only criticism is that, you're using George Washington. I find that offensive.
Yeah, I brought George's wig today because, you know,
I don't find George's wig on you offensive.
I'm at the farmer's market, you see a guy with this wig on,
Yeah,
it grabs attention.
it sure does. And, but the problem is what a veracity, I think. And, if I were buying this, I want to see your face. I don't want to see your face. Because you're not a bad looking guy.
Yeah, I think it's shut down there.
Yeah, that's fine.
The fact is, you are a good looking guy. There's no reason why you can't be as representation you want to be. And you can wear that hat that way. And as long as you don't use your Washington, just you not projecting. And they're not strenuous objections. It's just that like me to have him associated with the product at all. Not forget the that other things. But he's out $1 bill for a reason.
He's a good founder.
That's right. So you are the founder of get more coffee cream. That's why
Sure.
I personally love it.
Oh, it's without a doubt.
Yeah, Washington represents him as founding father, who's on hypocritical trying for the last 30, 50, 60 years, whatever. I mean, he got changed. And really, the worst thing in the last 2 years. I didn't really involved with that, but, you know, the founding father set up a principle, constitution that they changed a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we got to go back, reset it.
Well, you know what? It's controversial.
Maybe people talking.
That's right. You got me, Tom, right? The fact that I find it objectionable doesn't mean that I think that your product is less valuable either.
So Benjamin Franklin is here.
Oh.
You know why? He said an ounce of prevention, pound of cure. Guess how much liquid it is?
An ounce.
No, but that's true, Mark.
And you have to be shrewd.
Absolutely.
Really, you put a fine seed that you can get in and make some notes.
The thing about it is, though, I don't buy from Benjamin Franklin. I don't buy from George Washington. I buy with Ben Franklin and with George Washington.
But as soon as I got the opportunity, I seen we had that opportunity to set
Bitcoin.
that is changed.
So more of the things that you'll find on my channel, which I have to change the name of it also, this rebranding process is quite is the people who've already done the challenge. I've said, here, Stephanie, here, Christy, take this and try this for the first time, record yourself. And in exchange, you'll get the product for free, and I'll get some great content and evidence that it actually does what it says it can do. Video has a better job of doing that than print, the text, or the audio. So, here we've got day 5, Stephanie, taste testers, 5-day challengers.
So explain and word the video, that's what you said.
Not a great recording, but still, she gave me a testimonial.
But sometimes that's the fast and little children. So that was a great experience. I will say that the DVD was
There it is. There's the bottle.
had to remind myself throughout the day to eat because, and I'm not trying to start, I'm not trying to diet, but one effect it has had is that I don't have the hunger that I usually do. So, and I also don't have the
Okay, so you get the idea. She's giving her dialogue of how it helped her. And that's all I needed. I didn't really care what she said. She said something, and that was enough. She's got the ability to bond with women her age much better than I do. That's the power of video. The power to bond with someone who is a lot like you. We build trust the fastest with people who are a lot like us. So in real life, I do this for businesses all over town. And the businesses I work with who have the most success have tasked me to recording the staff on video. Yes, the owner started. He was the first one to make the video. But as soon as he could delegate the video making, the video spokesperson work, he did. And I created videos about the staff who are in the field doing the work, or the staff, you know, who are doing the dental cleanings. You kind of want to see and meet that person before you sit down with your mouth wide open and they're shoving, you know, power tools in your face. That would be helpful. And so here's some examples of how video can really change the game for an invention. Any questions on this product before I move to the other one? Oh, thanks. Okay, yeah. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Yeah, that one plugged right in. Thanks, Roger. All right.
That one, that product that you've got now, is just that, an introduction.
Mm-hmm.
You go live with on the 19th,
Yes.
and that's going to be a website.
Here's the website. Before we just watch the video.
Okay.
No, it's not a bad idea. This is probably my VIP launch or my initial launch. I could go to Kickstarter next, and then I really need an investor again to take it to. I mean, I'm just like you guys. I'm on fumes. Look at me. I'm over here. I'm coaching soccer. Can't do it all. I got the ideas, right? Somebody else has the admin and the financial structure, and they're looking for a 10-to-1 investment. And there's potential for that here. And I'm happy to share that with somebody who's on the other side of the spectrum from where I'm at. Yep.
Have you thought about, getting referral for, recommendations from YouTubers? It seems like this project is kind of in line with what you presented.
Oh, yeah.
Diet, obviously, slightly paleo.
Yeah.
I have done, if you've done that for a while, and there's some pretty good YouTubers that
Yeah.
are,
Pounding it.
that are really, it's becoming, actually, it's becoming a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you have podcasters and YouTubers like Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this website that I use, you might want to think about using this as well. It's the easiest website company I've found. It's called MoPro, MoPro.com. It's $100 a month. All those other things that you go to do to make a WordPress website, it can do, but you don't have to pay that money up front. So it's a maximum out-of-pocket cost of $600 because you've got a 6-month agreement, but it does anything you want it to do, like coupon codes. If I wanted to give Joe Rogan a coupon code, he could earn a couple bucks here. I'd be,
Listen to a lot of podcasts, and, you know, it's, you know, there's a lot of podcasts I've never even seen on the internet, and some stores, but.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on Joe Rogan, he just has everybody on, but there's YouTubers that specifically do the kind of guy. I mean,
Mhm.
there's, you know, a doctor, burn guy, he's, you know, strict against, like, what was that? Well, they just do videos on, like,
Meal prep.
recipe,
Yeah.
prep, exercise. I mean, it's just, they're usually kind of in with that. You know, you go to what you feel, what you vegan. But I mean, you know, if you watch that, that's one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and when you see those on YouTube, you know, like, the end of it, hey, I found this product, I really like it, you know, like, we're creating people, this is where you get it, link down below to the website,
Mhm.
coupon code, whatever. I mean, that's why I know about the different products.
Yeah.
Podcasts. No, I mean, most of the time, if you talk to people, like, a lot of times they're like, I'm not going to be like this person, like, you know, a lot of times people can just send in, like, hey, here's my product, if you like it, show it. I mean,
So you negotiate that with the podcaster. Here's the product. I'm going to send you a sample. See what you think. Yeah. So, yeah. Mhm.
Podcasts and YouTube are totally different. I mean, YouTube is kind of like the wild west of, you know, video, and podcasting is more corporate.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, that's great. I might coincide that with this press release. So. Totally.
On that $27 kit,
Yeah.
what's the renewal cost?
So you don't need the mug anymore.
Right?
You just need this.
Single serving pack
6 single-serving packets.
cost.
$15.
Okay.
So it's like $1.25 or $2.25 each, something like that. 2 1/4 each. So retail, if you want to sell them for $1 profit each, you just go to this. You just crack that thing open and you sell those things individually, and you made $6. Make sense?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
I found out something very interesting. They were testing how much of a discount is if we bought bond. And they said, oh, we'll give, this was for, I think it was a $40 product. We'll give a 10% discount, 15% discount, and a 20% discount, test all three coupons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what worked the best?
The 10?
$2 off coupon.
Oh. Uh,
Because they don't know what they're paying for,
Yes. The gentleman's name is Charlie Stivers.
No, I got another product.
Oh. Yeah, Michael Knight is his name. And he used to be a stockbroker that built up a really big Rolodex. And he takes your idea and he gives it out to his Rolodex. He's like, there's all different kinds of investors in this Rolodex. And you got to have your stuff in order. You know, you got to have your EBITDA and your projected growth and your past sales. So it's my job to build up this investment to where it's worth, you know, that kind of thing for someone to look at it. It's going to be a completely different investor over here than it is over here. And I've got the idea in my mind of who that investor is, right? This one over here has to have already had success with the hemp product or with the marijuana product or has his own chain of dispensaries. Maybe he's a big Tim Ferriss fan and he's definitely doing keto himself.
Is there a reason why this couldn't be sold by CBS?
No, there's no reason why it could not be, because it certainly could. I don't think that this is going to be sold at coffee shops. They're just going to make their own recipe.
But if this thing is a benefit, health-wise, that we pay, and people who live pharmacies are certainly
Yes.
that might be something.
Yeah, I'd say it is. All right, well, this is the one that started it all for me. I'd like to move on to this one before too long. It's the mobile studio stick, and I'm going to assemble one of them here in front of you because none of the pieces are actually pieces I manufacture. They're just pieces that I've sourced and put together and assembled in my own way to make my own unique product. And it is also patent pending. So first, I love to start out with my research and development. 10 years ago, when I first started making these videos, I discovered that a tripod was not conducive for the construction work site. Too big, took up too much room, tilty, didn't get the tight shots that I needed. And so I started going to the internet to find things that might work for me. And you've seen this old one here, you know, it just, let's see, it looks basically like this one, but it's the cheaper version, right? This one. And you put your phone in this one, and it just doesn't do its thing. This one was supposed to stabilize it, and it would hold the phone there, but it didn't work. And phones came out with stabilizing lenses anyways. This is the little tripod turkey that goes on the desk. Well, that would never get up to eye level. So I would have to hunch down to look like I was speaking with you at eye level. That didn't work. This one here goes off the forehead. It's a gooseneck one. And it goes up. That didn't help me either. The GoPro, you've seen this. It's just kind of a chore to transfer the images from the device to the computer, to the editor. They've since worked on that, but in the beginning, no good. This suction cup one, remember that? Goes on the car? That doesn't work either. And so all these tools that I looked for, here's another one, burned in my brain until I decided that this clamp was really the best tool. Now, it'll clamp to any table, desk, or chair, and there's a chair in every room. And it can clamp onto most window seals. It can clamp to my visor in my car, and I can clamp my phone in there in the upside down version, and record a video of me just waxing on any topic that I might have. So I put there were some defects. There were some manufacturer defects with this clamp. And when I first started using it, I was like, oh, this is trash. I can't use this. But because these rubber pieces would come off, and it's basically useless with just these metal clamps without the rubber on there. So I drilled through the metal and put a zip tie in there to clamp it on. Zip tie. So now it won't come off. Then after a while, this swivel ball head would get loose. The screws would get loose and would come off, and then the stick wouldn't quite hold still because it was pivoting on these loose screws down here. Well, so I just unscrewed them. I put in Loctite, the red kind, screwed them back in. Now, it fixed those problems, and now it's much, much better, and it's much more predictable. This little cap used to come off of these things when I bought them from China. So I just put some Gorilla Glue in there and popped it back on. Now it doesn't come off anymore. The most used tool on any video production is gaff tape. So I went ahead and included some right here on the post itself. If you need some gaff tape to wire your microphone, whatever it may be. Okay, it's also a great place for my sticker that says patent pending and trademark here. It extends up to 4 feet. And so if I ever needed to hold it, which is a great shot of walking and talking, then I've got my video right there. Okay, so I'll just throw that in there to show you. This is a great shot. Me talking about whatever's going on behind me and taking them on a tour with me. Now, Roger, you know this. One of the hardest things to organize in a video production is the audio. And the best audio that I've found is the one that's closest to your mouth, which is the lavalier. And so I include a microphone with every package. And this is great because there are no batteries. It plugs straight into the phone, and it's very reliable. It always works. It's just a wired lavalier that goes straight in to the 1/8-inch audio in the phone. That's the 4-foot wire. I also include another 3-foot extension. So you can get full 6-7 feet away from the phone. It also comes with a light because I never want there to be an excuse why you can't make a video. And now you can even make a video in the dark. Oops. Right. Tighten down a little better for you. So that goes over the lens. And now I can illuminate my face even in the dark, crawl space, or the attic, or outside. Yeah. Now, you'd think, okay, great, all those things. Now what? Got to put them in a box or a package, right? Oh my gosh. Finding the bag looked like twice as hard as actually just buying these from Alibaba Express and putting them together in my backyard. Because I got to go through pattern designs and spend money on samples. It was looking pretty grim, like $35 a package or a bag. And because my numbers were going to be low, right? They need me to buy so many numbers. So I'm like, oh no, my whole project's going to hit the roadblock with the freaking package. That has nothing to do with what I learned, what I created to fix the problem. Is this bag standing in the way? So let me show you what I discovered. By just going to Amazon, I found this company called PackPod. And they're actually a competitor of mine. And I was like, well, he's got this bag that's probably perfect for me. What if you can just buy the bag, right? So this is his. It's got these nails, and I guess it extends too, but 3 legs is more complex than 1. You get twice as many adjustments with 3 legs than you do with 1. So I actually buy his bag, whoops, and I buy him at 20 bags a time, and it fits perfectly. And he knows, and he's cool with it. So right now, it's his logo that's on here. And for me to change that, he's like, you got to buy 100, bro. And I'm like, okay. $15. Which Taiwan, I know that. But what am I going to do? How much? Right? Okay. Well, I mean, I can just send this to them, right? And say, make me one like this. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that's why I come to these groups. That's why I'm doing this talk for free, so we can share ideas. So let's put it all together now. It folds down to 16 inches at its smallest, and it slides right in here. I put the clamp in on the side. Well, maybe I should put the clamp in first. There we go. And then the light goes in on top. Since I'm always using the microphone, it goes in this alligator mouth right here. Zip the mouth closed. Clamp the front, and this little strap just clamps right in. You can carry it like a purse and clamp the other side here, or you can clamp it on the bottom, and it can go over the shoulder. I take this to concerts. I take it on my bicycle or to a sporting event, and it looks like I'm bringing my camera gear. If anybody asks me what it is, I'm like, this is my camera equipment. And I've gotten right into the Pepsi Center that way and stuff. So, or the Rockies game. So, fix the problem, right? Now we got to send it out too, right? Well, that sounds fun, doesn't it? But it just so happens it fits in this 15-inch envelope. That's free envelope, costs $9 to send, and took care of that problem. Comes with the book, and it comes with 3 one-hour videos that teach you how to publish videos so that they show up to the first page of Google. Now, my chosen audience for this selling technique is real estate agents. I didn't know that 4 years ago when I just started showing this to everybody. But my sales background taught me that a sale is a sale is a sale. It's the same to sell a hand drill as it is to sell a yacht. It's a relationship. Relationship, it's the same amount of effort. So in sales, it behooves the salesperson to represent a high ticket item. What is the highest ticket item? Property, real estate property. So I thought, well, those real estate agents like to talk. They all know they want to sell more houses, and that's where I'm going to start. Doesn't mean it doesn't work for other businesses like Coffee Creamer or like this. I've sold 400 of these in the last year because I go around, to these real estate offices and I do my live demonstration that I've done here for the Rocky Mountain Vendors Club for them. So let me show you an example of a video that's of high value for a real estate agent. Real estate in Cushing Park, Inglewood, Colorado. Okay, so you can see here that this video that I published is above the map listing. It's above Zillow. It's above Denver Home Value. Trulia. How did I get a video to show up on the first page of Google above these companies who are spending all this money? It's right below all the paid ads, in fact. These companies are all paying hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to advertise. I'm free. So let's watch this video, 2 minutes, 15 seconds. See if you might be inclined to work with this real estate agent, who's not actually a real estate agent, by the way, but does it do a good job of building a relationship?
Inglewood, Colorado? It's just a really great American neighborhood to live in.
Oh, yeah.
Cushing Park neighborhood is defined as all the houses that are in and around Cushing Park itself. So to the west of South Broadway and to the right of Santa Fe and to the north of the Inglewood Marketplace. And because these houses are so close to this marketplace and these restaurants off of South Broadway, they have a great walking score. There are two major hospitals also very close to this neighborhood, and University of Denver is also very close. This neighborhood is actually just 10 minutes south of downtown, so it's a great location, and there's lots of amenities for people that live here. The average price of a house in this neighborhood is $400,000, and there was 169 homes that were sold here last year. There's 20 houses that are listed at any one time, and the price of a house increased 15% over last year. My favorite thing about living in this neighborhood has to be the amazing rec center that they have here. It's just a mile away from Cushing Park. My name's Anthony Prichard, and I'm not a realtor. But if I was, I'd be making a video like this one to show off all the places in the neighborhood that I enjoy the most. So if you had a home that you wanted to sell, or if you wanted to buy a home in this neighborhood, you would see that I am a very credible resource for you to utilize for your real estate services.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's obviously,
Yeah.
it's obviously, what do you call it? I'd call it a semi-pro video, okay? But, really sold yourself in that video. That's what you were really selling. But the invention is second. Right. Well, because, and you didn't even mention invention.
There's a different video for the invention, actually. Let me pull that up, because that's another high example of exactly what video can do. It can't help you sell a product. See, that was selling meat.
Right.
This is selling product. Yep, all done with mobile phone.
Which kind?
This is the Samsung 9S. Galaxy 9S.
But I think I saw a video where Adam that said iPhone 6, they use them to actually make them look images, use them on billboards. That resolution is that good on.
It's true. 4K capabilities, stabilizing lens, waterproof up to 3 feet. I mean, these are pretty amazing devices.
They all are.
Yeah, you don't have to make the brand new ones, you can still get an older one and still have good results. Yeah, that's right.
Completely revolutionary. When I started this 5 years ago, and I was in a business club, and I told these other business owners what I was going to do with my smartphone, they laughed at me. They said, "No way will businesses make their videos on their smartphone." It's really happening, yeah. So you were able to say yes to that last one. Could a person sell himself? Now see if a person can sell his invention.
Are you ready? Step up and use more than your hand. And you're ready for more than a flimsy selfie stick? Oh. That's why I invented Studio Stick. Simply put, the mobile studio stick helps anyone to make a video 10 times easier. I use it with Magisto to help me make a video every day.
So I went shopping for tripods, and I was looking around online, and there were so many that were a little out of my budget. So then I remembered Anthony Prichard talking about his mobile studio stick, and it's basically a tripod for half the price, and you can do so many more things with it. So I was like, I'm buying one of those.
The good thing about the mobile studio stick is that it's small and it fits in my pack. It fits in a purse. It definitely fits in my briefcase. But I can even use it standing up on a table like this. It bends up to 4 feet and it fits on any table or chair. And there's a chair in every room. It even fits phablets. You can use it to get a walking, talking shot, and because it has this extra swivel ball head, you don't see the stick like with those other options. I think the best thing about the mobile studio stick is how versatile it is. This clips to almost anything, and you can break it down to remove the telescoping pole so that you can stick it to a door, pan it with the swivel ball head, or you can swing the door and pan the room like this. And you can use it in the car to record yourself while you're waxing on those deep thoughts. You can make videos while riding your bike, or even just to help you navigate where you're going in life.
And there's a mobile stick smartphone video editing app that's like $20 a month. Get the first 2 weeks for free. But it makes video editing 3 minutes instead of 3 hours. It uses artificial intelligence, voice recognition, face recognition, motion detection to cut the videos for me and to trim them so that everything's snapped. Those transitions are in there, the music's in there, turns the music down when I'm talking, turns it up when I'm not talking. Does all that. No. It's Android and Apple. I've been to the headquarters in Mountain View twice in the last 2 years because of how many of these videos. It's just,
How many have you?
what's their shit?
MAGESTL?
NAGIST. So I just love this thing. Oh, you know what? The last time I was here, there was a man in the audience. His name was Richard Hughes. He invited me to his office and showed me 22 of his inventions. His family knows that he's an inventor. They bring him these ideas and they're like, "Hey, Pops, look at this. You got to make an invention for this." He pulls out every single one of them. I'm like, "That's another good one. Oh, that's a good one too." It's like the problem is what? Sound. And he's like, "That's why you're sitting here, son. Show me how to do this." he says, "I was, you know."
I was on YouTube the other day, and he popped up in a YouTube video ad. So I had to call him and tell him that I saw you. Like with someone,
Sure.
Like,
All right, guess who did that?
did you?
Absolutely. Because before I could take him down the road of making a website, and a landing page, and a video to send people there, he already had that set up with his business. So I said, "Why don't you let me improve it with the business you already have?" He said, "All right, show me what you can do."
It's got kind of on its
Oh yeah.
it's about it's about 25 pounds.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we did. Richard and I spent a couple hours together recording this video, and yeah, except for the animated logo. I made that separately with an animator who took his logo. See how it came together. So I like to do that because that's Kickstarter. Because if you believe that video on the internet is the powerful tool that it is, then this isn't going to be your last video. I want you to take that animated logo, that brand representation, and put it in every future video that you make. Watch this. There's that animated logo again. So the camera's moving. It's not just what he's saying, it's what the camera's capturing. It's this evidence, this proof that he can do what he says he can do. And-
Shows he's telling it, do it, he's using it.
Right.
The sad thing is, if you had hired a professional sports person, you would have been a lot better. No disrespect to him, but I guarantee you, I can't understand what he's saying. Pictures speak 1,000 words. But if I was a client and I was hesitant because I'm goddamn Republican, independent, hater, Latino, I'd be saying, at this guy, I'm gonna look for America.
Yeah.
That's our summer. So,
And the thing about it is, maybe his entire client base is Latino.
but there people still, I would look to expand on that. And I mean, I know for a fact, I tried to present myself, couldn't do it, and I saw someone that hired a professional spokesperson, nail it, and do a great job. Hire somebody to do that. Speaking personal, Amazon.
And that may not be his first.
So yeah, I've done soccer videos. I guess 292 would be all the videos I've posted to my Magisto timelines, where other Magisto users can go see videos from other Magisto creators. There's all the CBD videos. This is videos about my invention, mobile studio stick, real estate videos, client videos, and stuff like that. I do a networking group called VHS. It's on every first and third Thursday at 7:30 a.m. on my church, personal and professional development. And we record those meetings for at least 30 minutes for the speaker's talk. So I invite you to come into that group if you're looking for other business owners who believe that they're in their business because of a spiritual calling of sorts. This is a client I used to have. Short videos I've done.
On the mobile, statistic, do you have a problem marketing?
Yeah. So good question there, because again, I'm buying this mostly as retail, and luckily I just started dating a woman who does product development, and she's like, oh, I can rent, a fraction of what you're spending. I'm like, right, I'll give you a point. You got it, but all in on $60. Book, clamps, the stickers, the tape.
That's your cost.
That's my cost.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it's not too much if I charge $200 for it. And would you spend $200 if I could show you how to sell a house and generate 30 grand?
So, but you have an effective selling technique with the videos, proving that you don't have to be ashamed of not walking into a presentation with a DSLR camera. I mean, you've shown me that you can do something that a man with professional Sony or Canon or Nikon, DSLR with multiple lenses, you can do just as well, if not better, work. think probably, if you really wanted to prove yourself, you give great testimony on the big guy with the camera. Take yourself, take the camera, do videos that are taking him, have him download this stuff on a computer, go to Premiere Pro, edit that, and you do your editing on Magic Pro. And I guarantee it, you can show it to smoking on timeline, but you can do it just as effective. Got me sold. I would buy a $3,000 camera.
So, I actually looked this up.
For $200 service, exactly. That's a bargain. That's a bargain.
Yeah, so again, Keystone pricing, 4, not 3.
Normally it's 4 in retail, but what I've ever done is 4. 4 from manufacturer.
Okay.
Everything's manufactured 25, retail 100.
Okay.
Plus actually, plus 5, 10 for shipping.
Yeah.
Nordstrom, that's Nordstrom.
Well, maybe that's not that. Denver Open Media. It's a nonprofit co-op that costs $250 a year. Actually, the first time you join is $500 to get access to all their classes, so that you can be qualified to check out their high quality video equipment for free for a year. They also have $500,000 production studio where we created this TV show, and I actually did compare my selfie stick to the DSLR side by side. And nice mark. But before we get started, I thought we'd start the show with something that dad jokes. So, here to help me is my daughter, and to answer my questions, along with the rest of the audience, what do you call a fish with no eyes?
Everyone knows that was Dad.
Well, I think we should settle the debate of the argument for why fire engines are red, don't you? So, there's 8 wheels, and there's 4 people on a fire truck. And 8 plus 4 equals 12. And there's 12 inches in a ruler.
So this is like a night show, right? Where you do a monologue in the beginning.
And Queen Elizabeth was a ruler. And Queen Elizabeth was also a ship. And the ship sailed the seas. And there's fish in the seas. And fish have fins. And the fish fought the Russians.
Fins about the Russians.
The Russians are red. And fire
Resting bitch face,
always
RBF.
red.
That was a big thing back then.
So, there's a story about a daughter who might be 13 years old, who brought home a D at it.
Here's my daughter.
Her father was just beside himself because he tried everything to help her raise her grade in math. He tried tutors. He tried helping.
All right, so that's the monologue. It's pretty bad jokes, but that's the point of monologues.
How does the introduction
And,
to landing page experience?
here you've got me doing the interview between the DSLR guy, the side.
And myself, we're breaking down the difference between this and that. And this was published in 2000, April 2000. YouTube professionals. Denver's YouTube professionals, yeah. So we kind of ran that show to the highest level we could, and we kind of were like, now what kind of guests are we going to have on? It was a lot of effort to do all that video production in the studio, and so until we found something better to do with that show, we just had to put it on pause. But it was
how many vendors are there in RMI?
Vendors, like, 30, and then
And so why can't you have 130 vendors on?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, see, now my time is valuable. I don't quite see how I can monetize that. And
You're missing it. Eight.
well, for me to pay for me, my time, and the crew and their time, it's a little bit difficult for me to say $1,500. You know, it's like, why don't I just show you how to do that with this little kit for $200? Or you could use, I don't know. I didn't really need the shoes. I didn't see where that was going for me. I mean, it would have been a great hobby if I was already a millionaire and I would just enjoy the heck out of it. But I mean,
There are a lot of you.
Jared Flyer, so many fun, right? Yeah. So that's my little story about video and the products that this group has helped me to cultivate. I hope that's been valuable to you. I'd love to have coffee with any one of you in the next 30 days. We could talk about any of these resources that I use to help me get these products to this level. I'm sure you can help me with some of these manufacturers in Mexico. And I'd love to shoot the breeze with you. I've got different cards, obviously, one for this table and one for this table, but they all have the same phone numbers on them. I do have 4 or 5 of these units if one of you wanted to pick them up tonight. And a 5-day challenge kit over here if you want to try starting yourself. I'm also a head varsity coach, and I teach some of the most underprivileged young men in Denver how to trust one another, how to love the sport, how to love themselves, and how to love one another. And the kids we play have tracksuits and backpacks and water jugs, and we don't have those things. And because I'm in marketing and advertising, I'm also in fundraising. So one of the local businesses printed out these decals. You can be a Sheridan Men's Soccer Club booster for $5. Put this on your car window, and I'll be back next year with the 2008 decal. Because this job, they don't pay me enough, but they wouldn't have to pay me at all to do this. I really enjoy infusing our leaders of tomorrow with some real truth bombs about how a group of people working together are always more powerful than a bunch of individuals working together. Their past experience has not been good.